The Ministry of Education asks teachers for more time to meet on the burning issue of violence in schools. That's our top story in our Barbados Today morning news update for Tuesday, February the 20th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Top in the news, the Ministry of Education has asked the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union for more time to meet and discuss the explosive issue of violence among school children. BSTU President Mary Redmond said the request was only received yesterday afternoon on the eve of the ultimatum which her union had given to meet. Redmond told Barbados Today that while the BSTU has responded by letter, it will not be proper for the ministry to read its contents in the media before the document was in the hands of its officials. The ministry wants to meet on Friday instead of today. Residents of Ferry Valley Christchurch are complaining of an unreliable transportation system which they say has been affecting them for some time now. The disgruntled residents are therefore calling on transport authorities to address the problem as soon as possible. Barbados Today's Anmar Goodrich-Boyce reports.
Residents say the sight of the PSV or Transport Board bus is rare. The Ministry of Transport attempted to rectify the problem through the introduction of the Transport Authority Service Integration Project that allowed the PSV to service the Ferry Valley route. However, residents tell Barbados Today the initiative has not been working in their favor. They complain that PSV operators who have been given permission to work the treaty route are not traveling the entire route, causing them major inconvenience.
When they come, you ask them to go into Ferry Valley, they got up the big sign Ferry Valley. No, we ain't going to Ferry Valley, that too far. Just bring it to Time Modern and you go walk all up here.
The bus service out here is ridiculous. You can't even say that 2 or 3 days out of the week that you will get a 7:30 bus. You get 7:30 bus 1 day this week and maybe not for the next 2 weeks. Some days you only get one, but it's ridiculous.
Well, it is very bad, honestly. I mean, it wasn't only now, it was like years before now. BLP time and DLP time. We suffer for transportation over here very badly, especially Transport Board buses.
Efforts to reach officials at the Transport Board were unsuccessful, while Chairman of the Alliance Owners of Public Transport told Barbados Today he was aware of the situation. Roy Raphael made it clear that PSV operators who fail to complete the route, they should desist. Anmar Goodrich-Boyce, Barbados Today.
Thanks, Anmar. Opposition Senator Dr. Jerome Walcott has attributed poor policy choices, indecisiveness and incompetence by the Frundle-Stewart administration for the state of the country's economy. Walcott was making his contribution to the estimates debate in the Senate yesterday.
Decisive action is certainly needed, but for what I read in terms of the endorsement of this document, this is not decisive. This is still a work to be completed. This is still in need of an implementation plan. This is still not what is needed at this point. Distractions, DLP alternative facts, denial and deception are not what is needed. Now, what is needed is action to deal with the economic crisis which this country faces at this point in time.
But the blame game continued with Government Senator Jepta Ince as he claimed that it was the then Barbados Labour Party regime that's responsible for the dire state of the island's foreign reserves when it borrowed unnecessarily.
But when they borrowed, Madam President, they went up to 2005, 245 million, 206, 135.8 million. Small deficits. Madam President, they took $1,047,080,000 from the international market to prop up the foreign reserves, and we have to pay it back. I'm going to repeat it. I know we're speaking about foreign reserves in Barbados declining. When they borrowed and prop the reserves up, take out this $1,047,080,000 out of the foreign reserves, Madam President, and you would see that our foreign reserves were declining back then of Barbados Labour Party.
Debate on the estimates in the Senate resumes this morning.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Uneasiness in East Port-of-Spain last night, following hours of confrontation between residents and the police, sparked by the fatal shooting by police of a 25-year-old man.
It's one side of a fiery Monday morning protest in East Port-of-Spain, bringing the city to its knees. At least 4 streets were completely blocked, causing commuters to scamper in the early morning rush. Protesters were seen taunting police officers, crying brutality at their hands. Backup for the officers also arrived, trying to bring a halt to the violent onslaught of protests, but the residents couldn't be quelled, officers resorting to firing warning shots in the area, the presence of at least 2 primary schools close by seeming to be an afterthought in the midst of all the drama.
Them come this morning and murder somebody up here. Murder. And then tote them out. Tote out this man, them police, them.
The alleged police killing is that of Akil James, whose alias was Christmas. According to police, James was wanted for a slew of offences and he'd recently been released from prison. But the way residents see it, Christmas was their saviour.
And on the global front, former Presidents Barack Obama, George W. Bush and Ronald Reagan enjoyed upward bumps in their greatness rankings, while President Donald Trump was ranked historically low, according to a presidential greatness survey released Monday. Now, the 2018 Presidents and Executive Politics Presidential Greatness Survey released Monday was based on 170 usable responses from current and former members of the American Political Science Association's Presidents and Executive Politics section. Overall, Trump came dead last. The 7 greatest presidents, according to respondents, were Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Frank D. Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, Thomas Jefferson, Harry Truman, and Dwight Eisenhower. And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.